First of all, that is a great movie.
Oh, you enjoyed it?
I love that movie.
Oh, thank you.
That's Mike Binder.
Yeah, Mike Binder.
He is good. And Kevin Costner, I know they did another one together. And
yeah,
you're a good actor. I didn't realize that, but you really can.
Oh, thank you.
No, we've never met, and you know, I've always enjoyed you. I think you're a great comic. But I thought tonight maybe we would like sort of share a cry together because I think we have something in common, which is that we think political correctness may be ruining comedy, or at least threatening it. Because I know you've had your problems with that, and you did a routine recently about how women like it rough, and then, of course, the internet police got all over you.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, I didn't notice if that happened, because I don't pay attention to it. I don't read comments.
Yeah, they hated you.
Yeah, but who did?
The haters.
Here's my thing. Who? Like 20 people? Like 20 people with a hashtag can get like a news story going now, and I just don't think. There's no problem. Like the amount of times somebody tells a joke and they'll say that there's a controversy at a comedy club. That's funny is they'll show the clip on the news and like you hear the crowd laughing. So the comic is basically guilty of telling a joke that worked.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then if you put it on the news, yeah, it's going to be a completely different context. But I mean, I don't go on stage and worry about what people are thinking. I mean, if you can choose to take a comedian seriously, but that doesn't mean that I now meant the joke, and you can start saying that there's statements, you know?
Okay.
Did that make sense?
Yeah. But I mean, you're not the first comedian to undergo that. I mean, Chris Rock says he won't play colleges anymore because they're too politically correct.
You just ignore them. It's like 3 days. They flip out for 3 days. They try to bully you into an apology.
Well, you can't ignore them when they're right in the audience and you're playing to them.
You tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, believe me.
You know what? Show. That's all you do. It's like.
Sweetheart, I do it here every week.
It's manufactured strategic outrage. Right. Like I had somebody recently started to say that I did a rape joke in my because they wanted to make a point about it. Okay, but I didn't. I used the word rape. But if you use the word rape, that doesn't mean you're doing a rape joke. And the person basically took my act, already had their mind made up, and then they just made my jokes make their point. And
all right,
so I mean, I guess you could do that, but I mean, it doesn't mean that's what I was saying.
Well, then forget it. Let's not have a good cry together. But as long
as not what you wanted out of that?
As long as we're on the subject, I'm just going to say this about it, because I have been through the same thing. You know, I used to do a joke about Sarah Palin, and they said it was about her child, and it really wasn't. It was about how she was stupid. But my point was, even if it was, I don't give a fuck, because here's the deal. You didn't come to my show. The people who didn't come to the show, the court does not recognize your right to comment on my show. When you perform before an audience, especially a live one, that is your community. How many dates do you do a year?
A couple hundred.
Couple of hundred?
Yeah.
Wow, you are really on the road a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that's another reason why I don't really offend people, because I don't have a TV show, and I don't have advertisers that you can then bully into making somebody apologize. But you also, you're on a network.
Right.
You're somebody that somebody can attach themselves to, and they can get a story going. I'm just some jackass telling a joke in a strip mall, so they're not going to waste their time getting offended by me, and I could say something way worse, air quote, way worse than you did. So it's a really weird time where people are just bringing this up all the time like this is a major problem. I'm not experiencing it. I think it's like a half a dozen stories, and like usual, they're trying to act like, the sky is falling. It isn't. It's a fun time. Come out to a comedy club. You'll have a good time. It's all jokes.
Let's talk about what's important. I know you're from Boston.
Yeah, safe suburbs of Boston.
So?
I just say that because ever since Good Will Hunting, everybody thinks you're from Southie, You're good at math and you like apples.
But do you defend the Patriots, or do you think...
That is the most ridiculous non-controversy ever. They weighed the fucking ball. Who does that? It was lighter. What was the Colts' disadvantage? They played with the ball that they played with all year long. Our defense didn't seem to have a problem catching it.
Right.
My buddy said the MVP of the game was a running back. It's like, dude, you lost by 38 points. You got your ass kicked. Jim Irsay, quit fucking crying like you do every year. Go change a rule to make your team win again. You remember he did that 10 years ago when they couldn't beat the Patriots?
No.
He sent a whole tape, said our quarterbacks were roughing up the receivers.
What I
The league,
remember-
please let me get this point out. The league said that what they did was not illegal. Jim Irsay sat on the rules committee and changed the rule, tipped it in favor of the Colts, and the Colts won the world the Super Bowl. You tell me that's not true.
I am totally with you on this. I think
You build a stadium that makes your fans sound louder than they really are.
Right.
And it's gamemanship.
Right.
It happens. I think it's hilarious.
I think the scandal.
Players should be able to do roids, and they should be able to smoke weed after the game, the amount of
Totally.
pain that they're in,
Right.
and how much they shorten their lives. You ought to be able to give them anything you can to help them heal their body, and then take the pain away.
That's right.
There you go.
I agree with that. All of that. I mean, I'm not a Patriot fan, but Tom Brady's one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. That franchise is pretty amazing. They win fair and square. What I remember is the Giants kicking their ass twice in the Super Bowl. Okay.
It happened. I got to take that.
I want to talk about this movie because there's another controversy besides, of course, Deflategate, which is American Sniper. It made $105 million over the box office. This is unheard of in January. That's what superheroes usually make. Superhero movies make. I'm not surprised. Clint Eastwood's a great filmmaker. But somehow their Twitter war broke out, and now we have to take sides, whether the American Sniper is a real hero or not. Now, I said last week we had Catherine Bigelow on, who had made Hurt Locker, and I said it kind of goes over a lot of the same territory. Hurt Locker made $17 million because it was a little ambiguous and thoughtful. And this one is just American hero. He's a psychopath patriot, and we love him. You know, I read some of the quotes from the real Chris Kyle. He said, "I hate the damn savages," talking about the Iraqis, "and I've been fighting and I always will. I love killing bad guys. Even with the pain, I loved what I was doing. Maybe war isn't really fun, but I certainly was enjoying it." I don't know. Eisenhower once said, "I hate war as only a soldier who has lived it can." I just don't see this guy in the same league as Eisenhower. I'm sorry. And if you're a Christian, I know this is a Christian country, I hate the damn savages. I don't give a fuck what happens. That doesn't seem like a Christian thing to say.
You know, it's a very interesting point.